Just a brief background, I was born and raised here in Tallahassee, went to Kate Sullivan, Raw, and Lincoln High School, and then graduated with a business degree from Florida State University. I went to work for associations actually. Education was not my primary calling. I worked for the Florida Dental Association, the Florida Bankers Association, the Florida Home Builders Association, so I had a great experience working with boards and member-driven organizations. Then I had 3 kids in 3 years, and they're all here today. So I just want to say thank you to my family for being here. If I'd have told them you have to be here, no one would have showed up. I can't even get them home for dinner on the same night, but they're all here today. So over at this table, could y'all just wave? It's important. Thank you, pleasure. 3 kids all grew up in the public school system here in Tallahassee, Hawks Rise, Deer Lake, and they are all 3 still at Childs. I've been going door to door. My reason for running is because I believe we need a teacher on our school board. And I am sticking to that platform despite the changes in the race throughout the year. My belief is we need a teacher's voice out there to tell everyone interested what actually goes on in the classroom, what's working for our students, what's working for our teachers, and what's not working for our teachers and our students. I've been going, okay, we need to have a vision for the future of education, okay, and we need to have that through teacher's voice. Some of the ideas that I have as a school board member, I want to still attend staff meetings. I want the teachers to still see me as one of them. I want to hear their voice, and I want to be a voice for them and take it back to the school board. I would like to see a seat on the board for a teacher, whether it's an elected position or not. These are things that we need to be talking about. Those of you that were here last time, Gary Jordan spoke about the big ideas. Don't be afraid to throw out the big ideas. I'm not afraid to throw out the big ideas. I'm also not afraid to ask why. Why are we doing this? Why are we approving this policy? Why are we stamping this consent? Okay? If it can be justified to me as a board member, okay. If not, I say no, we need more discussion. Thank you for letting me be here today. I appreciate your time.
Again, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. This is actually the first big kickoff where we've all been together in the same forum and speak at the same time. I am currently serving on the Iron County School Board. I was first elected in 2008 to fill the remaining 2-year terms of Sheila Costigan, who resigned. As for the past 6 years, I have been the voice of and tried to be the voice of a conservative fiscal school board member. I've drawn upon my training and my background and my experience to do that.
I'd like to start with Commissioner Nancy Miller.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I want to thank NEBA for having this forum and for giving us the opportunity to come in and speak to you and introduce ourselves. You may know some of us better than others, but it's an opportunity not only for you but for me. I am your City Commissioner, Nancy Miller. I was elected in 2010. I'm running for re-election. I'm someone who's lived here in Tallahassee since 1985. I raised both my children here. Many of you may know my daughter, Betsy Couch. She's a lady about town and into a lot of things, working for the city. And I'm very proud of her, and I'm proud of my son also because I'm trying to recruit him back as a physician in Tallahassee. Both of my children care very much for Tallahassee, and I think it's very important for us to recruit our young people. That is one of the things that I try to do. That's not one of the things that you list on your resume that you got done today, but that's one of the things that I constantly try to do, is to talk to young people and encourage them to stay in Tallahassee. But inside my core is my dedication and from my experience of 20 years of owning my own businesses, of having to face the struggles, of having to provide health insurance and make payroll and all of those things that you have to do to navigate through tough times. Those experiences really do harden you, and they bring you to the point where that is part of you. I am going way too slow, I see Mr. Napier saying. The main thing that I want to say to you is that we have been through some tough times. We have not raised ad valorem taxes for 4 years while everyone was having a hard time. Things are beginning to look up, And as they do, we'll be able to address some of the things that were collateral damage in the last 4 years. City roads, maintenance of city facilities, parks, etc. We've reduced staffing. We need more police. We need more staff in the animal shelter. We need a new senior center, and that's just to touch on a few things that this city needs. We're going to be addressing those needs in the coming years, and I hope that after having gone through this period of time, that as the economy improves, and one thing I know for sure, or to go on and do the things that I've been doing for the last 4 years, I believe that I've done them well, and I thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Stewart, proud NEVA member since 2009. I was just talking to Michael over there about the first time I addressed the NEVA crowd was in 2009 when I just started Tallahassee Reports, and it was over at Lucy Ho's, and we were crammed into the back dining room with about I think it was about 35 people. And so it's great to see this organization grow and its impact. As I've said, I've been a member for a number of years, and I consider myself a business advocate. I own a business here. And so as business owners, we know what the free market brings down every day. We have to provide a good service at a fair cost, and we have to provide customer service. I think that's an important perspective I have on the City Commission, and so that's why I'm running again. I would like to say, recognize my wife, Kathy, who is here today, and is it's my third run for office, and I don't do it without her support. So for those who think I did it without asking her, you're crazy. So anyway, obviously people ask, why are you running? You got in at the last minute, and it's, I have 6 children that I've raised here, 4 now in public schools, 2 have gone on to be productive citizens in college. I'm hoping that will continue. This is my community, and as you know, I stay connected with what's going on here. And one of the disturbing things is that we have to hold our leaders accountable, and I just can't sit by and let incumbents just not even debate issues. And for whatever reason, I had that inside of me, and so this race is about competition, getting the issues out there, and so I hope that you all take that message and look at the issues that we're trying to talk about here. The next step then is, are there issues? Wouldn't it be a shining example to have an independent ethics officer, an appointed ethics officer? The Tallahassee Democrat thought so. So did the League of Women Voters. So did Martha Barnett, former president of ABA. So did Chief Justice Anstead, Supreme Court. But the commission voted it down. So I think that's something that we got to relook at. The other thing, as a free market business owner, and you'll be able to relate to this, CRA spending is invading property rights for business owners. The downtown CRA has spent money on student housing, restaurants, and commercial space. What's happening is we're driving rents down. We're going to have vacant student housing. You can ask anybody about that. We have a glut. And we're financing restaurants and commercial space. That's not the proper use of our money, and a true free market business owner would know that. And so I ask for you to look at the issues. We're going to have a couple more debates over the next couple of weeks, but these are some of the things that I want to focus on. And obviously public safety being the number one, because it affects our quality of life. It affects our neighborhoods. Being number 2 in violent crime is not a bell you unring. And so I appreciate your time here, and as always, I always enjoy the NEVA crowd and the ability to get the issues out. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Curtis Richardson. I'm running for the Tallahassee City Commission seat 2. And since everybody has established their Tallahassee creds, let me establish mine. My family's roots go way back in Tallahassee. My father grew up here. My uncle owned a shop in Frenchtown during its heyday. And so my family has been in this community for a long time. I personally am a 40-year resident of Tallahassee. I came here as a 17-year-old to attend Florida State University. Graduated there in 1978. I've got 2 degrees from Florida State and a degree from the University of West Florida in counseling and psychology. When I graduated from Florida State, I determined then that Tallahassee would be my home. And when I did that, I made the decision to get involved in this community, to make it a better place, to make it work for all of its citizens. And so I started getting involved in the community. My career started out in the Gadsden School District as a school psychologist. I did that for 9 years. Had the opportunity to then work for then Commissioner of Education Betty Castor at the State Department of Education. Had the great opportunity to then become a staff member in the office of the governor during the last term of the late Governor Lawton Childs. I've worked as an education consultant for the University of South Florida, and my career now has come full circle. I'm back with the Gadsden School District as the STEM coordinator, science, technology, engineering, and math. I was fortunate to marry a young lady who shared my same passion and love of this community. We've been married for 18 years now. We've got 2 daughters who both attend the public schools of Tallahassee. One will be in the IB positions. I was a member of the group that drafted Blueprint 2000 that addressed the infrastructure issues in our community. For the last 2 years, I've been vice chairman of the sales tax committee and a part of the steering committee of Imagine Tallahassee. And so I understand what the issues are that face our community from one end to the other, north to south, east to west. And that's the experience that I want to bring to the City Commission to be able to contribute day one to addressing our issue of expanding our private sector economic base, addressing the issue of crime and violence in our community. And I'm proud to have recently been endorsed by the PBA, Police Benevolent Association, because of my position on crime in this community, to create opportunities for our young people to be able to stay in our community, to continue to build on the relationship between local government, our universities, and our college and our neighborhoods, and to preserve our neighborhoods and our natural resources. I believe that Tallahassee's best days are ahead of her, and I want to be a part of the leadership team as your next city commissioner to lead this great community of ours into the future. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
At least I hope so. I grew up in Tallahassee. I'm a proud product of Leon County Public Schools K through 12. I graduated from FSU with a degree in communications. I met my husband Steve here, who is with me today. Steve, would you just stand up? I couldn't do it without the support of my family, and particularly this man. And we chose to put down roots here and raise our 2 children. We have a son, 16, who will be a junior at Lincoln, and our daughter, Alexandra, will be an incoming freshman at Lincoln. I've been engaged in the community, and my whole decision to run for public office, this is my first run for a political position, and it was never really on the horizon. But my decision is grounded in my commitment to this community. I've been an active school and community volunteer. I love this town. I see this as an opportunity to take my time, my passion, and my energy and put it towards moving our community forward. And that's solely the reason that I got in this race. I think just we need to also encourage and support entrepreneurship and work to retain what I think is very important, the intellectual capital that we're graduating out of our colleges and universities. But we have to have the jobs here. We've got to have the job sector to attract and retain them. Some of the things also on the economic opportunity, in some of those of you, I've talked to many of you and met with you, I also think we need to be looking at the way that the city promulgates rules and regulations. And every rule or regulation, we need to be asking one specific question. Does this rule or regulation create jobs or inhibit jobs? And if we started from that mindset, I think we would go a lot further in moving the business community forward in our town. Citizen engagement in open government. I'm very strong on this. I'm a strong believer of First Amendment. I did not believe in the kill switch. I think people have a right to redress their government. Good or bad, if you're elected to public office, it comes with the territory. I don't agree when someone hijacks the process of civil discourse for personal attacks, but you still have to give them their time, because that's what First Amendment's about. Okay, thank you. And local government cooperation. I think we have to get to a level of strong civility between our city and county governments and working together. We cannot continue to work in silos. We've got to work together and move our community forward. And last, I just want to say, I think what I bring to this position is a fresh perspective. We need somebody with open eyes looking at things differently. I do not know all the answers, I will tell you that right now, but I know how to ask questions. I know how to do my homework. I know how to seek community and stakeholder input, and every decision that I would make as a city commissioner will always be grounded in doing what is best for our community as a whole. And I think that's what a city commissioner should be doing.
I want to thank you, all the candidates, particularly for staying on time so that we do have time for questions here. Wanted to also, I forgot to mention, we are doing a straw ballot for members only, current NEBA members only. You should have gotten a ballot when you checked in. If you did not get one, if you're a NEBA member, please, you can discreetly walk up to the front and get them while we're talking. We do have a federally approved ballot box that we're going to put them in, and we will have the results properly audited by somebody. But anyway, we're going to put. We'll start with you, Forrest. What? Yes, no, or it depends. Which means there's more to the answer, but those are your choices. What is your position on merit pay for teachers? For it, against it, or it depends? What do you say? I didn't get it.
I have a totally different answer. Merit pay. I'll give you a prime example. I taught.
You for it? Yes, no, or it depends?
Wow. It depends.
All right. Okay, well, I want to thank all of our candidates for their very candid comments and answers here. We covered quite a bit of information and not too much overtime. All right, well, I appreciate everybody staying a little bit overtime. Hopefully it's very informative. Again, thank you to all our candidates. And we'll be back here next month.